3. We've reached quorum now, so we'll get started. Our first item on the agenda is public comment. Is there anyone from the public who'd like to speak? You have 3 minutes. Please state your name and your address. Good morning.
How you doing, everybody? I'm D. Jones. Sorry, it's kind of loud. How you doing, everybody? I'm D. Jones, passionate entrepreneur and visionary. First of all, I want to say I'm excited. I finally got to premiere the Production Gamers Saturday in Detroit. I couldn't be there because I had a basketball game. I still hoop. I am left-handed, so I know I'm one of the 10% of the unique people on the universe that are left-handed. And I had a basketball game, but the production was very good. We sold out 2 theaters at a theater in Detroit. It's going to be very cool to actually get it on a couple streaming platforms, so I'm very excited to actually see that production actually go out. I was, besides co-producing the production, I was also in the production, so a lot of people got to see me with another pair of Cartiers, and a Gucci bucket hat. Cartiers are very popular in Detroit, and I had to be fancy and had to shine real quick in the production. So I think people are really going to like it because I was just being D. Jones, as I'm D. Jones everywhere I go. Whether I'm at the city council or King County board or anywhere else, I'm just always D. Jones and true to who I am. Also, I see that the soccer stadium was on the agenda. I actually am happy for the soccer stadium to be built. I don't have nothing negative to say. I just wanted to say, like, to the community, because there's a lot of negativity around that. And I just want to say that the community utilize what people build to try to give back to the community. If people are going to be building a soccer stadium, try to do events there and have an economic impact and utilize those funds or whatever you get to build the community up. Sometimes you have to use what people build to build yourself up or the community if you don't have the funds to build it. And that's just like with all of the other venues across the city or across Kent County. So I also wanted to say that I'm just excited to be alive. I actually had to get on my bike and get up here and stuff like that. But I see a lot of unhoused people. And a couple of days ago, this 3D printing company that I've been speaking to actually contacted me. So I wanted to put that out there that I still like to build affordable housing. I like to 3D print homes, and I like to attack the housing crisis because it's cold outside and everybody doesn't have a house to be, rubbing their feet in and feeling good under the blankets and stuff like that. So I really just want people to just understand that I do care for the community. I do like the soccer stadium. I do like everything that's being built around here because if somebody builds it, nothing's ever going to happen. This city needs to grow and things need to happen. But I do think that some of these things need to have a bit ethical and equity into it. I think that people can do a lot better. I think that these billionaires, because one day I'll be a billionaire and I'm doing these cool things and have partnerships and finalizing contracts and working with the school board and the school district, and I'll be a global business leader one day. But I do think we can add some equity and some diversity into these projects that we're building here in Kent County. Thank you.
All right, thanks, Dee. Is there anyone else with public comment this morning? All right, seeing none. Our next item on the agenda is the consent agenda. Could I get a motion for the consent agenda? Moved by Commissioner Antor, support by Commissioner Oliver King. Any changes to the consent agenda? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Item number 3 comes to us from Human Resources, and it's the 2025 Management Pay Plan, Pay Range, and Wage Changes.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to approve management pay plan, pay range, and wage changes. Summary: approximately 332 clerical, professional, and management positions are covered under the Management Pay Plan, MPP, pay structure. As authorized by the Board of Commissioners, the Management Pay Plan administrative process provides for periodic review and adjustment. Oh, shoot. I just had a message come up and I had to click it out. I clicked out my thing. Okay, let me catch up here. Adjustment of the pay structure for MPP positions. It is requested that the MPP pay structure and employee pay rates be increased by 3% effective January 6, 2025. It is also requested that any MPP staff not yet at the E step of their pay range progress to the next step in the range on the same date. The total 2025 fiscal year cost of $858,121 to implement the proposed salary increases is included in the FY 2025 budget. This amount includes the funding necessary to conform MPP job classifications to market wages as revealed by Human Resources study of current employment market conditions.
All right, thanks, Sal. Is there a motion for this item?
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Wooden. Is there support? Support by Commissioner Coleman. Questions or comments? We do have Amy Ralston here from Human Resources if any questions arise. All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Item number 4 on our agenda comes to us from the Administrator's Office, and it's the Grand Rapids, Kent County Convention and Arena Authority Agreement with ASM Global.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to provide authorization to the Grand Rapids Kent County Convention and Arena Authority, the CAA, to enter into an agreement with ASM Global to provide management services for the Acrisure Amphitheater and Amway Stadium. Summary. ASM Global currently provides management services for Van Andel Arena and DeVos Place. ASM Global also provides food and beverage services for Van Andel Arena. The CAA intends to extend these services to include the Acrisure Amphitheater and Amway Stadium. Under this agreement, ASM Global will provide a full range of day-to-day management and operational services, which will include event marketing, sales, operations, finance, food service, event booking, guest services, facility maintenance, and capital planning. As part of this agreement, ASM Global will contribute $20 million to be used as follows. $4 million to be used to upgrade food and beverage equipment, technology, and other enhancements to the Van Andel Arena, $11 million for other capital obligations of the CAA, and $5 million to assist in growing the CAA's capital reserve. The term of the new agreement will be 15 years, beginning July 1, 2026, and continuing through June 30, 2041. The agreement includes one additional 10-year renewal option that may be exercised upon mutual agreement. Under Article 10E of the CAA's Articles of Incorporation, Kent County and the City of Grand Rapids are required to approve all agreements, obligations, or commitments by the CAA that are more than 5 years in duration.
All right, is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Merchant. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Commissioner Wooden. Questions or comments on this? Commissioner Antor.
Thank you, Chair. I was just wondering that the 10-year addition potentially, who will that agreement come in front of? Will it be in front of our board again, or would that be more of an internal?
Good question, and I do not know the answer to that. I think it's of the parties of the CAA and ASM. So I do not believe that would come back to the Board of Commissioners.
Seems like maybe it should. I don't know. I'll defer it to you, but it just seems like that's a lot of money. That's what are we talking now? We're talking 25 years total with the same company with only one public. So it just seems like a decision like that should probably come back to our board, but that's just my comment.
All right. Any other questions? Commissioner Coleman.
I'm just curious on the process here. Was it, 20 million contribution sounds great, but I don't have anything to benchmark that off. Was this, I assume that contribution was negotiated by the CAA, and is that good? Should it be $30 million contribution? I don't have any context for how this $20 million contribution was reached. And I guess my related question is, was this an open process where other vendors were able to bid as well?
No, it was not. We started at 15 and got them up to 20. I think our goal hopefully was to, since they've been a partner managing the existing venues, that we could, and they've been very successful, and we're very happy with them. So we wanted to try to negotiate as much as we could, and then keep the existing management company so that we could have, it would make it easier and probably better for economies of scale because they already know the community, they already know the venues. They've been here for over 20 years, so that's the reason.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Just as a follow-up to that, I know there's not a lot of vendors in this space, but I guess why wasn't it a open bid process just to see what other vendors might offer?
Primarily because we're so happy with what they've been doing for us. They've been a good partner for so long. We did use that as a negotiating tool to maximize the benefits of the agreement. So I think we came out with a really good agreement.
All right, any other questions or comments? Great. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no.
No.
Is there? All right, motion passes. Thanks for the information, Rick. We might call you back up with a few other items here.
Okay.
All right, our next item on the agenda is item number 5, and it comes to us from the Administrator's Office, and it's the Grand Rapids Kent County Convention and Arena Authority Agreement with Live Nation.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to provide authorization to the Grand Rapids Kent County Convention and Arena Authority, the CAA, to enter into an agreement with Live Nation to provide promotion and booking services for the Acrisure Amphitheater. The Grand Rapids Kent County Convention Arena Authority, the CAA, has an existing contractual relationship with Live Nation to provide promotion and booking services for the Van Andel Arena and DeVos Place. The CAA intends to expand that relationship to include the Acrisure Amphitheater. Live Nation will promote and book events as well as provide consulting services related to the design and construction of the amphitheater. As part of this agreement, Live Nation will provide $20 million to support the construction of the Acrisure Amphitheater, as well as purchase furnishings and equipment necessary to support the operations of Live Nation on site. These expenses are part of the capital budget for the project. The term of the agreement will be 25 years unless terminated earlier or renewed by mutual agreement. Under Article 10E of the CAA's Articles of Incorporation, Kent County and the City of Grand Rapids are required to approve all agreements, obligations, or commitments by the CAA that are more than 5 years in duration.
All right, thanks, Sal. Is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Merchant. Is there support? Support by Commissioner Wooden. Questions or comments? Yes, Commissioner Sparks.
Thank you, Chair. I have mixed feelings on this, even though I'm going to vote for it. I have mixed feelings because Live Nation really does box out a lot of promoters. The small guy, I would call it, individuals that do want to do business in larger stadiums and arenas. They take the lion's share, and I don't like that feeling. I don't like it at all. And it looks like maybe they're giving us 20 million. Thank you for that. But it just feels like it's an exchange to make sure that we only work with them. And I just don't like the way it feels. I just wanted to put that on the record. Thank you.
Commissioner Antor.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, along with Commissioner Sparks, it's starting to feel a little bit like a monopoly that's kind of going unchecked a little bit. This is a 25-year agreement. 25 years. What happens if we're not happy 5 years down the road? And I don't know that much about Live Nation. They might be a great company, and there's getting along with them good and stuff, but that's a long time to be locked in with one group, and who's going to hold them accountable, I guess, because it doesn't seem like we're allowing competitors into this process. And I don't know if the market's speaking. This just seems to be, for whatever reasons, we're given these long extended contracts, and I just don't understand the length of them. Couldn't we come up with a 5-year agreement?
I'll start, then Rick can jump in, but I think the length of the agreement is somewhat commensurate to the investment into the facility. So I think that it'd be hard to find somebody to do this to give $20 million for the project if they were only getting a 5-year agreement.
Yeah, and Rick, Al, I understand. I'm sure you're doing your due diligence and stuff, but these days, to give someone that length of time where virtually no oversight that I'm aware of. Are we going to go back 5 years from now and take a look and maybe be able to get out of that agreement? Maybe there's new players in town.
I mean, the oversight is a direct responsibility of the CAA board, and
Yeah.
of course, this board appoints two of those members. And I think that, yeah, so I mean, that's where the oversight happens.
There's actually 4 governmental oversight if you count the city's 2 appointments and the county's 2 appointments.
So I guess and I'm not begrudging you guys. I'm sure you did your due diligence and you're happy with this agreement, so on and so forth. But let's say the oversight saying, "Wow, we don't like this way this is happening." What legal remedy is there, or is this 25-year contract making that obsolete?
Well, there is performance clauses.
Okay.
So, I mean, we do have oversight. We do have a performance clause that we can make sure that they're performing to the utmost. I think to answer Commissioner Sparks' question, there's also, we did negotiate a clause that other promoters could book not only the arena, but also the amphitheater, as long as, we have to mutually agree it makes sense for the venue. But yeah, there is a clause that, so they're not exclusive, they're preferred.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I should also mention that I get the uncomfortable nature of Live Nation being perceived as the 800-pound gorilla. The other side of that I hear frequently from my role representing you on Experience Grand Rapids and some of the other things is that there's a certain efficiency that comes from having one company booking the major venues. So there's less bumping around. There's more of a way to plan that in a way that's more efficient for all the venues than if you had different promoters competing because they have different contracts with different pieces of the venues that we have. So I think that's the yin to the yang of that one.
I think my mouth feels
Commissioner Antwer.
Thank you. Within that framework, Al, I guess, if someone is booking through that organization's, let's just say they're going to have an event that's maybe a non-concert, just some sort of conference or something with pipe and drape. Who supplies the pipe and drape? Is that something the vendor can go out, or do they have to go through a vendor that's under contract with you guys?
Well, probably that would be under ASM's purview.
Under who? I'm sorry.
ASM, because they're managing the buildings. So
Okay.
Rich and his team.
Because I know Art Crafters has done work downtown forever, and they were exclusive. And you paid top dollar because you couldn't compete with them. And that's a huge cost. I was able to break out of that mold, and I was able to get somebody else for a different event. And it cut my cost in half. So I'm always looking at ways of keeping costs down. And
I don't believe they're exclusive.
they used to be with downtown here. Yeah, they still are. But some of the other buildings outside this area, you could get wherever you wanted. But I'm not saying they're bad. It's just expensive. So I just get uncomfortable when you're dealing with one entity and you can't really shop around that because it's kind of written into the contract that you have to go with whoever they say. But that's just my.
So in this case, though, Live Nation won't be managing the buildings. They're only promoting the buildings. So, but ASM would manage in that regard. And the thing that's shouldn't be lost on us is, it's Rich and Chris. I mean, it's going to be the same team that's been managing for ASM.
Yeah, and I'm
the
sure.
arena, yeah, and the convention center for years. So we get that, we get that benefit.
Yeah. And the market eventually will speak. If prices are too high, they'll say, hey, we
Correct.
can't do this anymore. So I understand that component's already kind of baked in, but
Yeah.
all right, thank you.
All right, Commissioner Wooden.
Thank you, Chair. Just a quick question. So the $20 million in this action request, is that the same $20 million that ASM is pledging as well, or is it an additional?
In addition,
That's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm. And the second one, forgive me. I know that Live Nation is currently under part of an antitrust suit. In the event that suit comes to some kind of resolution, is there anything in the agreement to protect us or illustrate how that would play out?
Good morning. Hi, Jessica Wood. Excuse me, counsel for the CAA. So we had a lot of questions when we did, learn about this antitrust lawsuit. So thank you for bringing that up. It's going to be going on for a long time. That lawsuit probably could be 10 years before it's finally resolved. Even if we did add some sort of language to this agreement that said that you have to pay our debt no matter what the Department of Justice says, it would not be enforceable against ultimately whatever court order gets entered. So we would be lower man on the totem pole in that regard. So that being said, there's nothing preventing us from entering into this contract now. It's business as usual for the time being. So, and we were well aware of sort of the tactics alleged and took that into account when we negotiated this.
Thank you.
The payment schedule for the 20 million, that's upfront, correct?
So I thought in the version of the memo that
Can
I
you
saw.
just move over and speak in front of the mic?
Oh, sure.
Thanks.
In the version of the memo I saw, it's actually spread out, Al. It's actually 10 million up front, and then do you recall it's another
I think it's within 3 years though.
right, hang on. I broke this all down in a memo if you just give
So
me
there's a
one
high
minute.
likelihood that the 20 million will be collected before the antitrust suit is resolved.
That's a very good point too. Yep.
Thanks for mentioning that. All right.
I'm sorry, I have specifics if you would like.
Sure.
Okay. 10 million no later than 10 days after the mutual execution of the agreement. And then the remainder at a time mutually agreed to by the parties for purposes of the purchase and installation of the furniture and equipment.
So within those, before we open.
Does that satisfy your question? All right. Our next commissioner, I think it was Commissioner Sparks that had another question or comment.
Thank you. I can probably find that out later. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Is there anyone else who'd like to speak? Commissioner Coleman.
Thank you, Chair. Similar to the last one, obviously, I think these strike me as like great business decisions, like happy with the vendors, the ability to negotiate contributions to these new projects. So it makes perfect sense from kind of a business decision standpoint to just go ahead, with these agreements. My concerns are just rooted in that, like, we're not a business. We're a government, and I think that a government should always have even just purely for the community perception aspects of it, like an open bid process for any substantial contracts like this. So I'll be voting no again.
Anyone else? All right, Commissioner Antor.
Just one final question on the antitrust issue. At what stage is that at right now?
That is at the very beginning.
Okay.
So they're just in the process of commencing with discovery.
And that court, whatever court you're in, are they giving you those numbers of 10 years, or is that based on similar
So
type cases?
it's just based on, I have a law partner who's an antitrust expert, and I immediately forwarded it to him, and he said that was his estimate of how long this would take to be settled.
Okay, thank you.
All right, any further questions or comments? All right, thank you so much for all the information. Are all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. No. All right, motion passes. Next item on the agenda is number 6. It comes to us from the Administrator's Office, Grand Rapids, Kent County Convention and Arena Authority property acquisition for Amway Stadium.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to provide authorization to the Grand Rapids Kent County Convention and Arena Authority, the CAA, to enter into property purchase agreements with the Grand Rapids Downtown Development Authority, DDA, and Grand Action 2.0 for the Amway Stadium. Summary. The capital stack for the Amway Stadium includes $16.1 million for land acquisition. Approximately 8.2 acres either has been acquired or is being acquired by the DDA and Grand Action 2.0. This land will be transferred to the CAA as part of the Amway Stadium project. The term of payment for the purchase agreement will be over 20 years, covered by distributions from the Michigan Strategic Fund's Transformational Brownfield Plan allocation, which will be assigned to the CAA. Under Article 10E of the CAA's Articles of Incorporation, Kent County and the City of Grand Rapids are required to approve all agreements, obligations, or commitments by the CAA that are more than 5 years in duration.
Thanks, Al. Is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Sparks. Is there support? Support by Commissioner Oliver King. Questions or comments on this one? Commissioner Antor.
This brownfield, plan allocation, how long is that for the new property that's being acquired? Is that considered brownfield or is it some of the other property? I'm sorry to keep bugging you guys.
Good questions.
Yes, good,
Yeah.
important information.
I'm sorry, can you,
Yeah, the brownfield, plan allocation, is that brownfield destination, is that part of the new land that you're purchasing or part of the original plan that was involved in this?
The original plan. So the
Okay.
transformation of brownfield covered, the 201 market site all the way and included the sites, that we're looking at for the soccer stadium.
Do you know how long, do you have any idea how long that's been designated brownfield?
Rick, can you make sure you speak into the mic so our
Sorry.
online listeners can hear?
It's after 30,
it'll be up to 30 years.
up to 30. Sorry.
30 years, it'll be the maximum amount allowed under the law, which is 30 years.
Okay, what's the, do you have the physical address or something that I could write down that would get me in that right ballpark?
We have maps and parcel numbers.
Well, I can get it from you later. That's okay. I kind of want to take a look at that a little bit. So, Al, if I could get the parcel number.
Yes.
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
Right, any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none, all those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Thank you so much. Our next item on the agenda comes to us from the Administrator's Office, and it's the City of Grand Rapids' contribution to support the West Michigan Welcome Plan and Global Gathering Event Funds.
Action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to appropriate $25,000 in sponsorship funds from the City of Grand Rapids and $2,285 in additional sponsorships from the 2024 Welcome Plan Global Gathering event to the FY 2025 West Michigan Welcome Plan budget in the Special Projects Fund, and authorize the board chair or designee to approve extensions, amendments, and increases to the grant appropriation not to exceed 15% of the original award. Summary. The Welcome Plan Steering Committee guides the Welcome Plan Coordinator and the West Michigan Welcome Plan Collaborative in the implementation of the Welcome Plan. The vision of the West Michigan Welcome Plan is to create a welcoming and inclusive community for new Americans and implement a series of community goals and recommendations in 5 priority areas: improve educational outcomes, maximize economic potential, engage communities, provide access to services, and ensure safe and connected communities. The Welcome Plan Collaborative is receiving a $25,000 contribution from the City of Grand Rapids. The funds will be transferred to Kent County to help support Welcome Plan goals, priorities, operations, including staffing, community engagement events, activities, supplies, and meeting expenses. The collaborative is also receiving $2,285 in additional sponsorship funds and community support for the 2024 Welcome Plan Annual Global Gathering event. The agreement period with the City of Grand Rapids is from November 18, 2024 to November 30, 2025.
All right, thanks, Al. Is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Oliver King. Is there support?
Support.
Support by Commissioner Sparks. Questions or comments? Yes, Commissioner Sparks.
I absolutely love this Welcome Plan and everything that it stands for, and everything that it's doing in our community. So good job with that, Al.
Well, thank you. We have Holland, our leader of the Welcome Plan, and she's been doing a phenomenal job with it. So,
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. Our next item comes to us from the Sheriff's Office, and it's the Emergency Management Performance Grant to enhance the emergency management program within the state of Michigan.
action requested. Recommend to the Board of Commissioners to appropriate $20,000 to the Sheriff FY 2025 Special Projects Fund from the State of Michigan Department of State Police to identify and report out critical funding sources, gaps, and future needs of emergency management throughout the state of Michigan, and to authorize the board chair or designee to execute the grant agreement, approve extensions, amendments, and increases to the grant appropriation not to exceed 15% of the original award. Summary. The Sheriff's Office wishes to accept a grant from the State of Michigan Department of State Police of federal pass-through funds in the amount of $20,000 to develop a comprehensive report on emergency management funding needs across the state. The State of Michigan will also be contributing an additional $20,000 from state general fund monies. The project will involve hiring a consultant on behalf of Michigan counties and the Michigan Emergency Management Association to analyze and optimize emergency management financial operations. The resulting report will identify funding challenges and opportunities, support resource advocacy efforts, and promote efficiency in local emergency management programs statewide. The grant period runs from September 1, 2024 to May 31, 2026. Prior to signature, Corporate Counsel will review and approve all documents as to form.
Thanks, Al. Is there a motion for this item? Moved by Commissioner Sparks, support by Commissioner Oliver King. Questions or comments? All right, seeing none. All those in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes. That brings us to Commissioner Miscellaneous. Is there any Commissioner Miscellaneous? Yes, Commissioner Kallman.
Thank you, Chair. If I'm not mistaken, probably the last finance meeting for Commissioners Antor, Wooden, and Chair Breevy. And so I just wanted to express that it's been a pleasure working with all of you, and I feel you all have been commissioners that have served your communities with genuineness and engaged and hardworking. And Chair Breevy, I know you've been chairing this subcommittee for a long time, and I know that's a lot of additional work. And so I wanted to express my thanks and congratulations as you move into new things next year.
Thank you. It's been an honor to serve. And, this will be our last finance meeting. So you don't have to have that next one on your calendar for later this month. You get a freebie. Enjoy that extra time. But thank you. And, kudos to Commissioner Wooden and Antor. Commissioner Antor is our longest serving commissioner on this committee. So you've been around. You've seen a lot of different things go through the process. But thanks for all the time and effort. You all the questions you've asked and things you've said. I appreciate it. And it's made us all better. And we're better able to serve our community that way too. So, yeah. Commissioner Wooden.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Just wanted to echo some of those sentiments. It's been a pleasure to be here for the most of my last 6 years on the commission. I think there was one meeting where I served on LHR in 2022, and that was reverted back here because they couldn't stand me there. In my time here, from sitting to the chair just next to Oliver King, to hear the questions have, I think, decreased, but that's only because the experience has increased. And in my time here, I've come to gain a deep appreciation for this body, this committee, and the folks who work on it, and our ability to deliver services for folks that really make a difference in their lives. So thank you all, and thank you to you, Chair Breevy, for your calm management of this committee in the last few years. I've really appreciated it. And just have a great holiday season, y'all, and I'm sure we'll have more nice things to say in a few days. So thanks.
Commissioner Antor.
Yeah, I just want to express my thanks for everybody. This has been just a wonderful experience. And, I've always looked at this job as kind of like a taxpayer first. That's the hat I come into this room with, and try to look at it from a taxpayer's perspective, and then a county commissioner after that. So, but it's been an honor. We got some really good people here. I think our last meeting's on Thursday, probably. So it's going to be a bit bittersweet. I get to go hunting and fishing and taking my kids out now more and more, and I'm going to enjoy that. But this is really a good board. I've been very proud to serve on it. Thank you.
Commissioner Sparks.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'd like to say that I echo the sentiments of my colleagues, and Commissioner Wooden, you have been absolutely helpful and a great person to look up to. Thank you so very much for your leadership on our side of the aisle. I want to say something to you, Commissioner Antor. even though we don't always see eye to eye on everything, I believe you have the best interest at heart. And you have been very helpful to me as well, especially when we used to sit over there. We had some good
I was
conversations.
cheating off your paper.
I felt that. But anyway, I'm just want to let you know that I really do appreciate you and your leadership and being here. You will be missed. You will be missed. And Commissioner Breavy, you will be missed as well. And we thank you so much for your leadership, for the calls, helping us through some of the issues that we've had, and being a very good leader on our board. So thank you very much. I wish you the best with your family. It'll be interesting to see where you land. But thank you so very much for taking your time, because people don't understand when you have small children and you're trying to do this work, it's not always easy. So thank you for taking time of your family and of yourself.
Yeah, this job was definitely easier when I had small children. Now my boys are teenagers and I become their Uber and take them everywhere. And I'm always at a baseball, soccer, sports ball game. So, and trying to run a small business too, but this has been a great learning experience over the last 10 years. I also want to shout out to Al and Linda, at the left and the right up here. It's good to have, them flanking either side with all the knowledge and insightful information. Like, we're just part-time here and we can't absolutely know all the details, and the staff that's always, lining the back of the room, thanks for being here, taking time out of the day when you could be doing other things. And without all of you all, we really wouldn't have much to do and be able to accomplish all that we have over the last several years. So thank you. And thanks for all of the time you spend teaching us and helping us learn every day. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Any other miscellaneous? All right. We are adjourned. Enjoy the rest of the year.